This is John Barton from JB Cases. So, let's see, are we live already? Can't tell. Let's see here. Move that out of the way. There we go. Okay, good deal. Sorry about that, guys. I started a video a few moments ago and the family showed up, so I got a little bit interrupted. And my daughter made a great comment when I mentioned one thing. She goes, "Nobody cares," which is probably true, but we're going to go through this anyway. So, a little background, real quick. The Today or yesterday I put up a post about more knockoffs. Specifically one company that's knocking us off, trying to capitalize on our look and sell based on the same sort of look and feel of our cases. And somehow the discussion turned into straps, and I one of my good customers posted up. He says, "Well, you should just buy these other straps from this other company because they're better than JB's straps." So naturally, my ears perk up when I hear that, and I say to myself, "Wait a minute, I don't think that's true," and it bugs me that you feel that way. So let's do some testing. Now, I want to mention a couple things about straps. Okay, straps are something that are personal. There's so many different straps out there and nobody agrees on what the best strap is. And then every time somebody comes out with a new super strap, lots of people will say it's great, and then other people will say, "Oh, it's crappy and doesn't work like that, like it's true, like they say it does," and so on. So in my research, there's no real best strap out there. Okay, really, there's not. But there are certain things that are better than other things for particular uses. So I'm going to show you why we build the straps we build, the way we build them. We're going to compare some straps, including the one that my customer thinks is better than our strap. And then you can, see the different ways that I look at it and see if you think so for yourself. Because, I love customer recommendations. I especially love it when my customers challenge me. And, I don't have any problem copying a strap. If someone says to me they want something made a certain way, we'll try it and see how it works. If anybody does anything better than we do it, and we agree that it's better, I don't care who makes it. If I'm allowed to copy it, I'll copy it and make it because I want my customers to have the best experience, the best useful experience with our cases that is possible. That we can afford to build, so to speak. So, of course, we're talking about straps, so this isn't rocket science here. But anyway, I wanted to show you all a few things. I wanted to go through it. So before I do that, I'm just going to share this link real quick back to the Facebook page that we're doing this at, so they can those people following that conversation can join in. So bear with me for just a second here while I do that. So hopefully it'll still be recording when we get back. And all right, reconnecting. We're back live. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys real quick some evolution in our straps. Let me flip the camera around here real quick, and then we'll get this going here. So hopefully y'all can see me okay. Good deal. We're down to zero viewers. All right, whatever. The reason that I'm doing this live, guys, is because there's some experiments that I want to do, and one thing that I hate is I hate for things to be doctored or edited and stuff like that. So if I do these videos and we do these strength tests and these primitive experiments that I've devised here, and I get embarrassed or it shows that what I think is not right, then I'm going to go back to the drawing board and I'm going to fix it and I'm going to make it even better. But I believe that our straps will hold up as good or better than any of the competitions that I have here. So we're going to see that in just a moment. But that's why it's live. That's why this is being recorded live and not otherwise. Okay, so the thing with straps is this was like the first kind of strap that I did when I used to own InStroke. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see the label there. There we go, a little bit. Anyway, this was the first strap. It's kind of bulky, it was hard to adjust. Put it on, you can see that it immediately starts sliding off my shoulder. So that wasn't a very good deal with the straps. Back then I was 21 years old. I didn't know anything about anything. So that's how we did that back then. And then from there, I went to this one, which was 2 buckles on the side, some belt, like a belt buckle, and this really crappy little pad on here. You can see you put that on, it immediately slides off. This has nothing in it. So very difficult. You always have to hold it in, you know, to your shoulder. So obviously not a good strap. Then from there, when I came back and we came back and we started looking at how to do this better with JB cases and do a different company, we went through several different versions of straps. I'm going to pull this over here and show you real quick on the table so you guys can see what we're talking about. Over here, I have several different straps here, and so basically what we did is we started out with this kind of like a dog bone here. Now it's gonna be important why this is a dog bone shape. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's ergonomics basically. It's comfortable. But you'll see here this slides up and down on here, and you can see it's fraying right there. So we found that to be a problem. We found that it slides is a problem. It also makes it wear more, makes it wear faster. You can see how this is all cracked in here. So this is a rubbery material that we thought would hold up really well, and we wanted the straps to be non-slip. And we found out that it's hard to get a consistent supply of this material. So this is kind of it's still non-slip, but it's not quite as good as we like it to be. So we've gone through, the suppliers sometimes give us different grades of the material, and then of course we don't find out about that until later. So we decided to stop using that altogether, and we went with the suede. Now, this is suede right here. So it's suede leather. Might be hard to see on there, but it's very non-slip. It's very grippy. We had thought about using neoprene, which is really grippy right here, and the grippiness is almost the same, and the price is almost the same of the neoprene to this. So we decided that it would be better to just do natural suede, and because suede is not going to wear out. It can be refurbished with a suede brush easily. You just brush it, comes right back out. The nap comes right back out. And it's very versatile, and it's a lot more supple than the neoprene is. So, but the neoprene is a good material. So, you know, if we ever thought that there was a need to use that, we would not hesitate to use it. And then one thing we did is we took and we sewed on right here. We went ahead and sewed the strap and made the pad part of the strap. So we found that this reduces the wear quite a bit on the straps. It's more comfortable. And it really helps with the strap being non-slip on there. So that's what we did. This is my personal one that I used for about 2 years. You can see it still has the older rubbery material on there, but basically this strap served me really well for 2 years. And I had a guy come in and he just loved my strap, so he wanted to buy one of my personal straps, so he bought it. And so that's the only reason I took this off, is so I could have 2 matching straps on my case. So that's why it's here. So you'll notice here, we went through a couple different versions. This one is got 2 layers of nylon here with this inside. And so yeah, that was an experiment that we did with neoprene. We do wider. This will come into play in a moment. The customer said he liked the other strap because it was wider than ours. And it is wider at a certain point, but what I'm gonna show you in a moment, you're going to understand why that's not that important. It's more important to have the right ergonomic shape. But anyway, if a customer asks us to, we make a wider strap. So you just ask us and tell us what you want, and we'll do it. Here's another one. This one is made, also you can see that it slides, but we've done a little bit better job here with 2 layers, putting it on there. And then this has a, suede backing on the padding right there, so on the pad. So another thing the customer said he liked was, he said he liked the swivels on there. So now he doesn't like the snaps. These are the snaps on here, so we have a double snapping mechanism right here. And he's worried about whether the snaps will come out. So a little bit later, we're going to do a stress test experiment and see what it would take to make those snaps come out, if at all. The swivels you're going to see in a little bit are just as strong. We did have a period where, for whatever reason, we didn't get good material in here, and they would wallow out and start to come out. So that's a legitimate concern. And again, it comes down to mechanical things that we don't control, and having to depend on other suppliers. So for that reason, I generally recommend to people that you don't use the swivels. There's no real need for them. And if you don't use them, it's one less thing to break. But some people like them. They like the way that they work. So we do sell them, and we do deliver them with straps if people want them. But generally right now, generally we don't do the swivels, except by request. So, but anyway, let's get into a couple other things real quick. So, sorry, this is going to be long too. You know how it is with me. Okay, so this is Ralph. He's going to be our tester. It's a mannequin I picked up at a flea market or garage sale or something like that. So Ralph is going to help us out with testing what's important on the straps. Here are some straps right here. These straps here are some of the ones that this one particularly is the one that the customer said he likes better than our strap. So this is a strap from Pool God. Pool Gods is the brand. It's made by Cyberts, and you can see here it's got swivels similar to our swivels, as you can see right there, swivel clasps, spring loaded right here, and riveted right here, some nylon, two little rings here, which I've had a customer request those, so we did them for him. I thought it was kind of neat, I guess. I don't really know what they're for. But if anybody wants us to do that for them, it's not a problem. This is like a fake fur on the back right there that he said feels more comfortable. Now you can see here, this is a little wider than our strap. So this is what he was talking about as far as a comparison goes. You can see that this is wider in through here, where ours goes into this dog bone shape, and it's not as wide right there. However, I'm going to show you in a few minutes why this is important. Because the fact of it is that the best straps, and I say the best straps out there are kind of a dog bone shape, because it fits into your shoulder blade right in here, kind of fits between your neck and your shoulder blade, and sits better. And Ralph is going to show us that in a moment. We're going to do our little experiment. But anyway, that's the strap from Pool God. Now this one is $20. This is actually a good strap, by the way. I mean, as far as the way it's built, the construction on it and everything, the hardware is pretty good on here. So this is a good product. I mean, if you have to buy a replacement strap, this is a good one. It's not crap. So it just doesn't work as well as I like it to. My customer says he likes his better. Now, he was comparing his to an older model that was like 4 years old. So I don't know if he's actually seen any of the newer ones yet or tried them with the suede and with the new way that we're sewing it together. But I'm going to try to convince him and you that our strap is superior to this strap in this video. Now this one here is a neoprene shoulder pad right there from a Pure X. They sell the strap separately, so it's a little stretchy right here, and has a kind of push clasp on here. So we're going to test the strength of that in a while, and it has a swivel. Now, one thing about our straps, and again, this is something that the customer said he didn't like or he wasn't sure of. He's not tried it yet. But our straps have 2 snaps right here. So better if I show you on this one. Well, I've got that. That's been stretched there for a while now, for a couple hours. Here, I'll bring this closer so you can see it. It'll be easier to do it that way. So right here are 2 snaps, and then there's another 2 snaps right here. And, whoops, sorry about that. Let me get that down and show you. There's another 2 snaps right here where it attaches to the buckle. Now, the reason for that is simple. If the buckle breaks, you want to be able to fix the strap without having to throw away the whole strap or sew it or anything. So on this strap right here, these are riveted right here. This strap right here, this is sewn on here. And this is sewn on this one. So if any of these 3, if the hardware breaks on there, then you've got a lot more effort to fix it and replace the hardware than if you do with a JB strap, where all you have to do is undo 2 snaps and replace the broken hardware. Plus, also the JB straps are made to work without the swivels. So if you take a look at our cases here, you'll notice now this one has backpack straps. So when we do the backpacks, we put swivels on there on the bottom, because when you're putting it on like a backpack, you want to be able to get in and kind of twist. If you need to, you want to twist and adjust the strap easily. But you'll notice that at the top, there's no swivels. So there's no extra piece of hardware in between the D-ring and the strap to break. So yeah, that's why we do that. And we recommend, that you don't even use the swivels on the bottom if you are comfortable with putting it on like a backpack. Basically, I want to eliminate as many moving parts as possible from my cases so that you don't have to worry about those moving parts breaking. That's the reason why we do this. But anyway, if you want the swivels, you can get them from us as well, and they're high quality, good parts. But if they should break, if you should get the swivels from us and they break, well, guess what? You can still use the strap. So you've still got a usable strap. You can call us up and get a new swivel, or you can go to any store, any luggage repair place, whatever, local place, and you can get a new swivel. But in the meantime, until you decide to do that, you've got a working strap. So that's why we put the snaps on there. That's the reason for that. The other reason, beyond just eliminating moving parts. Okay, so let's do here a couple experiments real quick. We're going to do some stress testing right here, and you'll notice that I've rigged up this thing here where I've attached a ladder to my grid wall, and I've attached the grid wall to the ladder, so everything's pretty tight right there. And I've got a ratchet right here, so I'm gonna try to loosen this up real quick. I'll show you. So we're gonna do what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple. I'm not going to do it right now because we're going to do a couple other tests before I break these. But this is an older strap, so it's got the rubberized kind of stuff on there, so I don't care if I tear it up. But it's got the 2 snaps here, 2 snaps here. So one of the things that my customer was concerned about is whether the snaps will hold under stressful conditions since he rides a motorcycle. So I assume when he rides a motorcycle, he carries the case kind of like cross-body, like this, because most of the time when you're doing motorcycle, you can't really wear it backpack style because it sits too low. So I think he wears it cross-body. So we're going to do a couple of stress test experiments here with that, and we're going to see how much each of these can hold. But before I do that, since I've only got one of each of these, we're going to do some other tests to show you why I think that the shape of our strap and the padding is better than either of these. Okay, and this one, I didn't mention this one here. I'm sorry. This one here is from a knockoff case. It's from the crappy knockoff case, and this case here. So I've showed you this case a bunch of times. And this one is the D-rings just tore up on the bottom here real quick, easily, stuff like that. The D-ring at the top bent when one of our customers put it on, a big guy, and squeezed, flex a little bit, and it just bent, and so now it's useless up there. And this is the strap that comes with these. They don't even really match the case, but that's a whole other issue. But this strap here is, again, got like some fake fur on here. You can see it slides right there, and then it's got, I feel like this is fairly cheap hardware right there, but we'll find out how much it holds up. So you can see here. Now I've left the D-ring on there. This was the D-ring that came off earlier. So later we're going to stress test this, and we're going to see what it takes to break it. Not that it's ever going to be, not that it's ever really going to be in the condition or with the amount of stress that I'm going to put on it. But you got to imagine sometimes people put their cues in a car and they reach in and grab it, and they're grabbing, and it gets wedged somehow in luggage or the seats or something, and they're grabbing it, and maybe they pull on it a little harder than they should rather than reaching in and kind of unwedging it. Maybe they think that they can just dislodge it by pulling. And you can easily add, you can easily put 30 or 40 pounds of pressure on one of these in that situation. So we're gonna try to subject it to more than that and see what would happen on there. Okay, the strap itself is not bad. It's vinyl over nylon webbing, so it's got pretty strong webbing in there. It is, however, sewn right there, so if this breaks, again, you're screwed on there unless you own a sewing machine and you want to sew it back up. This is the strap fully extended. So I fully extended all these as well here so people can see how much room you get from each of these. You can see that ours here is our strap on the over here on the right, on my right, is the longest, gives you the most room on there. And also, if you need more room, we can always, we're a custom case maker, so we're happy to make a longer strap for you. We're happy to make extensions for you. If you want to, you could just use, like, if you need a few extra inches, you can just use one of our, you can just buy one of our detachable towel rings, and that'll give you like 3 extra inches right there if you wanted to do that. But I mean, we can build custom extensions for your strap, no problem. So, all right, let's get to our testing real quick. I'm sure that's what you guys have been waiting for, the fun part. Let's destroy some stuff, okay? So, this is what I've done for Ralph here. Is I've attached him to a pole here, so you can see what we've done. I've attached him to a pole. I've left one side free over here, so we're going to use that arm over there and see how it works. Keep in mind, this is all primitive. This is all primitive R&D, right? This is not a controlled experiment. I'm going to do each one a couple times so you can see that hopefully the consistency is the same for this. I've pre-tested it a little bit to see what would happen, just to kind of try to get Ralph here positioned right. So I've attached his leg down here, and I've attached his waist to this pole. And what's going to happen is I'm going to put the strap on here, put it on here like a person. I'm going to put it all the way in to the neck as much as I can. Keep in mind this is plastic, right? But doesn't matter. We're going to try it, and I'm going to shake him like this and simulate walking. Okay, I'm going to try to. And I might be a little bit rougher than normal, but I'm going to try to do that, and we're going to see what happens and see how long does it take for the case to fall off of Ralph if we simulate it. So we're going to use a case here. This is a 3x6 right here that I have loaded up. All right, you guys can see I've got it fully loaded here. Nothing in the pockets though. But I've got it fully loaded. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these straps off, and we're going to test it out. And we're going to see what happens. So things are going to start flying here in a second. So hopefully we won't. Hopefully we're not going to get anything. We don't want Ralph's arms to come off or anything. All right. So the first one that I'm going to test here is the cheapy crappy one right here. So this is the cheap crappy Omega strap right here. I say cheap crappy. I'm sorry. You know, it's just that's my personal biased opinion. Okay. So let's clip that on. And these are fully extended, by the way. So I'm not testing it. I'm not cinching it up to his body just yet. We might do that. But I'm just going to leave it fully extended so it's at the loosest point here. This is the loosest point when you're wearing one of these. The loosest point is going to be, you really want to cinch it up better, okay? But this would be like the worst case scenario for carrying the case for it staying on your shoulder, for any strap, okay? When it's loose, it's going to want to bounce around and start coming off. So any strap that you do, you want to cinch it up as best you can and keep it close to your body so that it has the least amount of movement. So we're going to do the worst case scenario here and see what happens. All right. I'm going to set that up there on Ralph. See, it's already slipping off by itself. Let me see if I can get it a little bit better in here with the pad. Okay, so it's only at this point being held on by the t-shirt. That's the only thing that's holding it on to this dummy at the moment is this t-shirt. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put my hands right here on the back of the neck and the shoulder, and I'm just going to simulate walking forward, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so came off pretty quick. Let's do that one more time, and I'll try to be more gentle, okay? So we got it in. I put it in as far to the neck as I can. You can see that it's already sliding off here. I'm going to try to be a little bit more gentle. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So 4 times, 4 gates basically. All right. So that was the Omega strap, or Acme, or whatever the hell they want to call it. By the way, last year at one of the shows, Omega had a little bit better position in the booth than we did. So it came to pass that several people bought their knockoff cases. They bought these cases, and the funny part is they came walking down the aisle, and then they saw our cases, and they said, "Oh man, they didn't even know about our cases, you know." And when they got to looking at it, they were like, "Well, crap, can I just buy straps?" So a lot of people just bought new straps from us for their newly purchased Omega cases. So a case that they paid $150 for, they paid us $50 more for new straps from JB Cases to put on those cases. All right. So the next one we're going to do is the neoprene from Pure X. Okay, so that's the neoprene, and you can feel it. It's kind of stretchy right there. So let's put this on Ralph and see what happens. Okay, I'm putting it as far into the neck as I can. And the only thing holding this on is the t-shirt at this point. So here we go. You ready? 1, 2. That's it. All right. Let's do it one more time just to be sure. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So So we got 4 times out of that. Now keep in mind, if that wasn't for this cloth right here, that would have it would have been gone right away. So when you try to wear this yourself, see what happens? Here. You'll see my shoulders slope a little bit more than Ralph's does, and I'm trying to get this in here to stay in. And as I'm standing here, it's already slipping off. See, if I start walking toward you, it's already off. I didn't do anything. I'll even hold my shoulder higher a little bit and try to keep it up. So I'll try to see me lean like this, and you'll see people walking around like that. That's how they walk around, trying to keep it on their body. See, even as soon as I go in an even direction, this goes gone. If your shoulders are sloping a little bit like mine, forget it. So whatever comfort that this strap might provide on your shoulder is completely lost by the fact that you're constantly having to hunch over and keep it up on your body, and it's lost by the fact that you constantly have to hold it and you're fiddling with it all the time, and you're probably going to be picking your case up off the floor when you forget, and your mind wanders for a moment, and you forget to hunch, or you forget to hike it, or whatever you got to do. So, those are the things that you have to think about when you do that. It's not just that this part might be comfortable. It's whether it actually alleviates excess movement in your body or not. That's what ergonomics is. Ergonomics is the science of comfort. Okay, so let's do this is the one that my customer said was better than our strap. This is the Pool God strap, sold by Seibert's, who we love. We love Seibert's, by the way. God, I sound like Trump when I said that. That sounded so Trumpian right there. Like I have to qualify it. Actually, Seibert's is a really good company. Known them guys a long time. They carry our cases. They've been selling these replacement straps forever. Before they were even buying our cases. So, and this is a good piece of equipment as far as the build on it. So, there's really nothing wrong with the construction quality of this strap. However, let's see how it holds up with our test for staying on. See, I don't like the fake fur. The fake fur feels soft and everything, but it's not grippy. It's very slick. So it tends to leave, So obviously, depending on the clothes you're wearing, I don't know, it may grip more or less depending on the clothes. But my thing is you want it to grip all the time and not some of the time. So let's try it and see what happens here. Okay. Get that in there. See, it's already coming off. Already slipping off here. So let me get it. Let me see if I can get it in a little bit further in here, a little bit better. I want to give it the best chance to stay in. Okay, so here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. I'll do it again, and I'll try to be gentler. So this is unscientific. So you may think to yourself that I'm being too vigorous. That'll be up to you to judge. You can come to the shows. You can come to the shows and you guys can test this stuff out yourselves. You can go get cases that have these straps on them, and you can come over and you can do all the same testing that you see me doing right here for yourself at a show. So you can see, I'll be at Super Billiards Expo. I'm going to be at APA Singles. I'm going to be at the Billiard Congress of America International Tournament in July. Or August, I'm not sure which one that is. I'll be at the APA World Championships, Team Championships. So those are 4 major events that I'm going to be at. If you think that anything that I say here is bullshit, or any experiment that I'm doing is somehow being staged or faked, or you think that my bias is showing up and that I'm rocking him too hard when it's not my strap, and I'm rocking him very gently when it is our strap, just come to the show. Just come to the booth and compare it for yourself. Then you can see if what I'm saying is true or not. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with anybody bringing any case into our booth and comparing it point for point. if anybody builds a case or builds any part of the case that's better than our case, here's the simple truth. I'm going to copy it. If it works better for you as a customer and you can show me why and how, then I don't have any problem incorporating that into our cases. I've said that once before in this. I've said it many, many times. Look, I can build anything you want in cases. There are a few things that we will not do because they compromise the integrity of the case. But when it comes to how something works, if it works better than anything that we've done to this point, all I can do is learn. And if you show me that it's better, or you show me that something we've done is defective and not working correctly, we improve. And not only how fast do we improve? We improve literally like within a week. The next cases that come out. Yes, Brent, we offer a lifetime guarantee. Yes. Okay, so back to this one real quick. So this is the second try on this. We're going to put it in here. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, gone. Okay. All right, so now let's try ours. So that's done right there. So, by the way, no cues were harmed in the making of this video because they're encased in a JB case. So you'll notice one thing that you did not hear was you did not hear anything rattling inside the case. You didn't hear any cues bumping against each other. You didn't hear any movement. All you heard was the case hitting the floor in silence. Okay. So, now ours. So this is a black strap, suede. It's the exact way we make it right now. And I went ahead and I put swivels on here to simulate exactly the other three straps. So we've got swivels on both sides right here. So, and again, I'll do this one time with the swivels and one time without, so you can see if there's any difference at all, okay? So we got the swivels. The swivels do add here, you'll notice they add about 2 inches. Yeah, it's about 2 inches. They add about 2 inches of length right here, on both sides, by the way. So, there we go. So we put that into the neck right there. Now you'll notice, you guys really can't notice this, but there's a gap here between the t-shirt. I'll pull it down a little bit so you can see it. There's a gap here between the t-shirt and the pad right here. So the pad is into the neck, but it's actually fully sitting on the plastic right here, and it's not being held back by the t-shirt right there. If it's being held back by the t-shirt at all, it's only because of contact points here and contact points on the back where it's touching the t-shirt. Right here across the top, it's not touching the t-shirt. It's only touching the plastic. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I hope that was clear, but I'm going to do it harder this time. We're going to see how many we can get. Okay? Now, earlier I told you I was going to tell you why the dog bone was important here. So you'll notice that when this comes in, it's going to go into the shoulder blade right here. So you see this? See how it goes into my shoulder blade? Now keep in mind I've got this at the full length, but it basically goes like this, so it'll fit inside the shoulder blade right here. Now his neck is different than most people. You see his neck kind of goes right, it's almost like no neck right here, it just goes right in. But so it's a dummy, like me. But anyway, it's good for the experiment, so let's see what happens. So, all the way in. Okay, Let it go. Same thing. Not touching right here. All right, let's go a little bit harder. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I hope that was clear to you guys why this lasts longer, why this strap stays better on your shoulder than the other one. Now let's go backwards, and we're going to do one thing here. I'm going to cinch this up. So I'm going to cinch it up. Now cinching our cases, really easy here. You just simply pull like this. You can take with 2 fingers here, 2 fingers, you can go up, or if you hold the case like I am right here at the bottom, see? Here, let me pull the camera down a little bit so you guys can see that. So you see I hold the case at the bottom right here, and all I did is just reach here and pull it up, and I can cinch it up to my body right there. Now it holds in. Look how close it is to my neck right now. See how this is leaning in? So right here you can see how this is leaning in to my body. So I can stand and I can talk to people, and I don't have to hunch my shoulders to keep it up. I can walk. Nothing moves. See? Nothing's moving right there. I got a lot of contact right here. I got a lot of surface contact right in through here, all the way in between my shoulder blade and my neck, right there. Jump up and down, see what happens. So let's take the cinched up one, and put it back on Ralph and see what happens. Okay, now we're cinched up. We got more contact going on in here. Here, I'm going to uncinch it a little bit so we can get it right around in here into his neck. So now right there, I've got lots of contact right in through here, all the way up to his neck right here. Let's see what happens there. I'm just curious. I've never done this before. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it took 7 tries to get it off of his shoulder doing that. So I think that you guys can get the point. I don't think I have to go through the rest of them and cinch them up for you guys to get the point on that. Here, I'll just do this one since my customer said that he preferred this Pool God one. So he said he preferred the Pool God one, so I'll just do that one real quick. The other 2 don't really matter. All right. So let's get this all in here. So see, it's already slipping away from my neck. Already slipping away. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cinch it up here. I'm going to cinch it at its highest point right now. And okay, so I've got it cinched here at its highest point. And as I'm standing here, barely motionless, I think I'm leaning a little bit even, like subconsciously I start leaning to keep it on, but it's already slipping off. You see that? I'm not doing anything extra. It's already slipping off. Here, let me take it down a little bit and see if I'm really trying to get it into my neck here where it will sit. Okay, so let me just walk towards you. Gone. You can obviously see that there's no possible way here that I can do the jump test on this. Gone. So I hope that that's clear right there as far as ergonomics and comfort and why we use the suede and why we use the dog bone instead of this. I'm not even sure what that shape would be called, an ellipse, I guess, or something, but But I don't know. I know that the designers of this think it's comfortable, but the fact is they don't use it in real world applications. I'm disappointed that my one customer thinks that this is a better strap than ours. I don't think that it is, for the reasons that I've shown you so far. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit more in a moment. But now we're going to test out some strength, okay? So his concern was, how strong is our strap in comparison? So he likes the fact that he thinks that these are bigger and beefier than ours. They're really not. Just slightly different shapes here, but you can tell that both of these are approximately the same size. Okay, you can see they're approximately the same size. They've got approximately the same parts to them, and about the same tension on the spring here. So for that part of it, I'd say they're roughly equal. On that, I don't know, but we're going to find out now with the now we're going to find out. Yes, Brent, we received lots of positive feedback about our straps. But again, you know, my thing is if any of my customers, or anybody really, if anybody says that anything that they do is better than us, then I want to go check it out, because there's only really three possibilities, okay? Either they are better than us, either they're equal to us, or they're worse than us. Those are the only three possibilities. If they're worse than us, then I want to make sure I know that, so I can tell people the truth, you know, that guy's wrong. If they're as good as us, then I want to be able to say that as well. I would say, hey, congratulations, we're the same. You know, you're as good as we are. We're good, you're good. If they are better than us, then I want to incorporate whatever it is they're doing so I can be as good as them, or possibly, hopefully, even better. Maybe I can figure out something else that makes us even better, and that's good for the consumers. So that's why I take these challenges on. Okay, so now we're going to do some stress testing on here, and we're going to see what happens. This is the fun part. And hopefully I do not break my luggage scale here. So we're going to try this. This is primitive R&D. This is basically a luggage scale, and we're going to see how much pressure it can take up to 75 pounds before anything breaks. So hopefully, or you know, I'll go as far as I think before. I don't really want to break this. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I'd like to be able to use it for the rest of the experiment. But I'm going to go as far as I feel safe on here doing that. So earlier I did a little bit of, what I did is I rigged up this ratchet strap this way, so all the way down, so we can put a case. I can attach a case here at the bottom. And I'm going to turn on the light so you guys can see that a little bit better. But we can attach it at the bottom, and she unplugged me? You unplugged me? I guess I unplugged me. Okay. Nope. All right, there we go. We got some more light. All right. Now, we're going to be able to do here, we're going to be able to do some stress testing on here and see how much it can take before it breaks, or before I break. So real quick, let me put on some safety glasses here, because I got a little scared earlier when I was messing with it. I don't want to put my eye out when we do this. Okay, so the first thing is the customer wanted to know, he was afraid of the snaps. So I talked to you guys earlier about the snaps on here and why we do it. Now let's see how much pressure the snaps can take before they come undone. So to that end, we're going to do we'll put this in here. We got it set at 0. I'm going to put that on the hook right there. And I'm going to go ahead and clamp this in here. This is with the swivels. Okay, except no swivels on the top. Okay? Here we put a D-ring to simulate how our cases are made right now, where it's just the D-ring holding it right there. Okay, so we'll set that back at 0 and go ahead and ratchet it. Okay, so that's 25 pounds, 40 pounds. See how we went 15 pounds in one pull right there. Man, this is scary. I don't even know how much this is going to hold up. So now we're at 50 pounds. So we went from 40 to 60 pounds. We're at 60 pounds right there. Okay? So we passed 100 pounds. We passed 75 pounds. So I'm going to stop right there at 75. I want to show you guys real quick. So that's 75 pounds. Let's see if I can get that in there so you guys can see it. There we go. 75. That's over 75 pounds of pressure on it right now with that strap. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take off the luggage. Sorry. Not sure why that's zooming back in. So I'm going to take off the luggage thing and we're going to do it without it. Okay, so we let it go. So we ended up at over 75 pounds of pressure on there. So now, let's really ratchet it up. I want to see how far we can go with it to get it to break. We know we got at least to 75, right? Let's see how we do. So what we're testing here is I want to see how much can I do this? At what point will these snaps give way? All right, so I'm not sure how many ratchets that was. What do you guys think? But it was at least 75 or more right there before the snaps gave way. So I think you can see that that's pretty strong right there with these snaps. Now let's do one where we'll put the swivel in here. Let me go grab a swivel real quick and I'll show you. Now let's put a swivel in here and see how long it takes then. There it goes. Okay, so I think we found the breaking point on the snaps there. Not breaking point, by the way, that's the wrong choice of words. The snaps still work perfectly. Still worked just fine. But you have to imagine if you put that much pressure on there, you know, maybe the snaps would come undone, maybe they wouldn't. But you're unlikely to have that much pressure just holding the case on your back. So anyway, now let's go to the brand new one that we do, okay? This is the new version right here. So this is the one we're going to start with mine, and we're going to see how it goes, see which one's stronger. This is with swivels. A little bit more slack in there. Here, let's do this. Let's take it all the way down to the very end right there and see what happens. All right, let's put on here one more thing. Let's put this back on, the new one, so make sure we do the experiment correctly. So we've got that set at 0. Everything's good to go. And we'll see. Hopefully I got enough, I don't have too much slack in there. I might have too much slack. I might have to loosen it up some or take the strap up some. Okay, here we go. So we got 10 pounds. $25. Man, if that snaps right there, 45. What's that? 53. It's hard to get ratcheted. So we're at 62. Hoping I'll break this ratchet in my hand. That would suck. Oof. Feels dangerous right here. Still at 62. Ooh. 65. So right now, man, this thing is super tense, super tight. It's close to 70 right there. It's like 68 or something like that. All right, let's see if we can get one more out of it. Okay, that last little pull right there pulled us over 75 pounds. And you can see it's still holding, not a problem with the snaps right there. You could feel this tension right there. You could twang it. Feel the tension on there about how it's holding right there. So I honestly, I don't think that anybody really has to worry about this. However, here's the deal. Again, if anybody is worried about it, if you say to me, look, I want to have a strap that doesn't have snaps there. I want to make sure that it can't come undone ever, like ever. We can sew it if you want us to. I mean, you saw that I used to sew them. I can sew it. Or I can even do something else. I could put an extra little band right there around it, you know, to tighten it up a little bit more to make sure it can't come undone. Lots of little things that we could do to alleviate your fear if you're afraid of this strap not holding. But you can see that at this point, nothing is coming undone anywhere on here. So I'm afraid to pull this anymore with this. I don't want to break this. So we're going to undo it and then go from there. So I'm going to undo it, but like I did, we're going to repeat the experiment with, we're going to repeat the experiment real quick by, without the we're going to see what it takes to make the snaps undo. I can tell you right now, guys, that this does not feel safe to me. It feels really sketchy and really dangerous, but we're going to do it. Now I want to say, you see this grid wall? We have had about 800 pounds of grid wall. Each one of these grid wall pieces weighs about 25 to 30 pounds, depending on the size. We've had, actually I said 800 pounds, we've had close to 2,000 pounds of grid wall on a cart, and we have pulled the grid wall using these straps. And I'll mention something else about the way we construct our straps in a moment that's important. Okay, let's keep going. I want to break it. I want something to break here. Hopefully it's not my arm. What are we doing here? Is everything good? Oh, okay, finally. What broke? Okay, so we broke the buckle piece in there. Now I want to show you something with that. This is something else that's really cool about the way we build our straps with the snaps. So you'll notice here that the buckle piece broke, but this is still, it didn't go anywhere. It's the snap actually stopped it from going. So we still have tension. We still have tension at the bottom here. We still have tension on this, so I still have to undo it to be able to get the strap off. But check this out. This is what I wanted to show you. Now, once in a while, you know, the buckles will break, things like that. I mean, you saw how much tension we put on there. Now watch this. So, what happens if your buckle breaks and you can't adjust the strap? Well, you call us up and you get a buckle, or if you don't want to wait for that, you go to any luggage repair place or, you know, Hobby Lobby, any place like that, and you buy a buckle. Go to Tandy Leather or any horse supply place or whatever. But if you want to wait, you know, we'll send you a buckle. But here's what you do in the meantime so that you continue to have a usable strap. You take it and you simply push this through here like this, snap it, and now you've still got a usable strap. The only difference is you can't adjust it right here, but you've got a usable strap. So again, if that breaks, you don't have to, because we do snaps, you can still use it. How do you like that? You don't have to sew it or do anything. So, okay, so I think that shows the strength of that one pretty good. Now let's see what happens when we try these cheap ones here. Not cheap, not, you know, I say that. Let's do this cheap one. Okay, so this is from the knockoff case. So now we're going to see what happens when we put some tension on this bad boy right here. A lot harder to adjust, by the way that they build this. So there we got some tension right there. We're going to do it. And I'll take the D-ring off here, stick it over here. So this is from the knockoff case. This is the case that spurred it all and started us on our little road here. All right. Now, let's put that in there. Raise that up a little bit so we can see what we're doing. All right, we got that hooked in at the bottom right there. So let's see what happens now when we get it. We got zero tension right now. Let's get you guys moved up so you can see it. So we got zero tension right now. This is the strap from this knockoff case that started the whole thing. You can see how it's all broken at the back and everything. And now we're going to test the tensile strength of these parts right here. We're going to see what happens. Okay? So you remember that we got to over 75 pounds on this one. We still did not break any of the clasps on here. After more than 75 pounds, we don't know how much more because I didn't want to break my scale. After more than 75 pounds, we finally broke the buckle here. We finally broke this buckle. We broke the middle bar out of the buckle right there after more than 75 pounds of pull. So let's see what happens with this one. All right. Here we go. I hope it's weaker. All right. Just got to say that because that's how I feel. All right, we are at 5 pounds. We're at 20 pounds. We are at 45 pounds. All right, we are at 75 pounds right there. It looks like it's actually holding up. Hate to admit that, but it's pretty good. See, I'm honest about it. I mean, if they can get by with cheap shit like this and it still holds up, then good for them. All right, so we're right at 75 pounds, so I don't want to break my scale, so we'll stay right there. And now I'm going to take it off, take the scale off, and then we'll do it again and see how far we get. But I should have counted how many ratchets we had, right, when we were doing it. But not bad right there. It seems to be holding up pretty good. Man, I don't want that to snap and hurt me. Can't tell. It does look like it's holding up pretty good right there, so might be a little bit. It looks like it's stretched. Oh, it did. It stretched out a little bit right here. So I'll pull this in so you guys can see that. Got to find something wrong. So pull this in so you guys can get a look at what I'm talking about here. Sorry about that. So this right here is now stretched out right here, this loop right here. So this actually will come out this way now, as you can see, because it stretched out too far. And I'm going to assume that it's probably that way on the bottom. But let me undo this. Oh, and before I do that, let me show you that it's 75 pounds. So you guys can see that. Let's see if you can see it. Okay? All right. Let's go back out. Zoom out. All right. So, sorry, I haven't been looking at the contents enough. Thanks, Brent, for counting. I appreciate that. But you know, you guys can go back and count them as well. So you guys can see that it can hold it back anyway. I mean, you can count the ratchets as well as along with me. So we can go back and look at it in slow motion and count them or whatever. But let's undo this real quick. Let's undo it and take this off and then see where we get to, okay? So I want to look at this bottom one before I do it. And I want to see if it pulled out. So I want to show you the difference. It didn't actually pull out. So look at the difference in these two. This is the bottom and this is the top. So let me see if I can get it to focus here. All right, I got to swing around this way so I can do it so you guys can see. All right. In this hand is the bottom. There we go. A little bit better. And in this hand is the top. Is it? Yeah. So I don't know if you can see the difference in there, but this one is stretched out. So now it's easy to take this and, let me see, is it easy? No, it still holds. It still holds fairly well, but it's got no tension on it right now. But it's stretched out. You can see a gap. See the gap? See the gap right there in this side? So over time, that might get worse. But actually, I was fairly pleased with how well it held up. So, you know, kudos to him for that. And now let's see if we can break it. Now you'll keep in mind that we weren't able to break the other one, mine. Let's see if we can break this one. Oh, I'm back. All right, here we go. This is our episode of Can We Break It? All right, that's got to be probably about 5 pounds or so. So let's go. Oh, okay, so it released right here. So now it released at that point right there. So now it no longer catches right there. Okay, so what has happened here now is this piece right down here has sprung out. It's broken. That's this piece right here has broken. So I'll bring the camera over so you guys can see that a little bit better. Wow, okay, looks like I'm back live again. Oh man, I don't know. I guess I just get way too passionate about this, don't even pay attention. So, yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'm not sure what's going on here about the whether this is any going to save or not, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up real quick and see what happens. The phone is at 2%, so it's probably going to go out real quick. So I'm gonna try to get this done really quickly here, and we'll see what happens on there. Sorry about it being blurry and everything, but my phone is way over here. I gotta get. I don't have enough power cord here to get it to come all the way over, so I'm gonna try to bring it over here a little bit more. Hopefully I can get enough on here to show you guys what I want to show you. Okay, well, that figures. Go back. All right, here we go. So I'm going to try to show you from here. Hopefully it'll stay up long enough to finish it, and then we can get this done. So anyway, we're at the point now where this is pulled up enough where it's broken. So I'll finish that. Got a couple more ratchets there, and there we go. So it finally came all the way undone. So this here, now, here's what has broken. So here's what broke on this. So it broke a few ratchets ago, but this part broke right here, if you guys can see that. It's not really focusing in there, but this is a little piece on the end of this. It's basically this piece here. One of these sides broke right there on the bottom, so you can see how that pulled out. It's like zinc inside or something like that, I think. And then this piece here is now gone to the point where it won't snap anymore. But actually, this one actually held up, fairly well under the pressure. So can't really say too much about that. Everything did okay on there. So those of you who get this strap, even though it's not that comfortable and it doesn't really stay on your shoulder, I don't think that you're really going to have to worry too much about this part breaking. So that's a good thing. I want to be clear about something when I say these things, is that I'm happy actually when other people do good things. I know that they're not trying. I know in my heart they're not actually trying to do anything. They're never going to do a stress test like I just did. So I feel like, knowing what I know about the production, I know that if they do something good and it actually is strong, it's mostly accidental. It's not intentional. But I'm happy when it happens, because I don't want people. Are we back? Okay. I don't want people to have bad cases. The power is going to go off any second now. So basically what I want to say is that the cheap strap turned out to be fairly strong, which is good. It doesn't stay on your shoulder as well. Hopefully this all recorded. If it didn't, I'm going to have to do it all over again. But anyway, there you go. That's JB cases and straps. So hopefully you guys got the information you need. I'm going to get off right now, Brent. I'll answer your questions in a minute, okay? I'm not sure what I have to do here. I'm going to try to save this stream. Please, no. Bixby, go away.
Hi, I'm Bixby.
These phones. I'll answer your question in a minute, Brent. I want to try and finish this, okay? So how do I finish it? So I'm live. I don't know how to finish it. X.